Hello. Sir, should I start? Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Sir, should I start with the session? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Kamlakar sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just 1 minute, huh?
Okay, sir.
1 minute. We'll start.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, hello. Sorry.
Sir.
कौन आहे? Usha madam or Himanshu sir has joined. 1 minute. Let me. Sir, a madam has joined. DP sir.
Yeah, Himanshu sir is also
okay.
there.
Yeah, thank you,
sir.
madam.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
So please go ahead. We are here and attending it.
Yes, sir. So on behalf of Hindi Vidya Prachar Samiti and Junior College, NCC unit and NSS unit together organizes this particular webinar on the occasion of Swami Vivekananda ji's birthday celebration, and wherein the country celebrates it as a National Youth Day. We have a speaker with us, Dr. Kamlakar Indulkar. I will request first our principal, Dr. Himanshu Davda, to please welcome and brief the audience, and then I will request Dr. Usha Mukundan, Madam, Director HVPS, to please say a few words. Thank you. Sir, Himanshu sir, over to you.
Easy to understand.
Thank you, Praveen sir, and very good evening to everyone. See, we all live life, but there are certain people who live the life based on values, based on code of conduct, and they turn to be a real role model for the youth of the world and the country. So, what I mean to say is, youth is a face of a nation, face of the world, and the values that they acquire from the personalities in the past is what they carry forward in future. So today's youth is a connection between the past and the future, and therefore investing time in learning values, following it, and standing by the truth is what Swami Vivekananda has taught us. Such an event is organized for the benefit of the students at the college, and I therefore thank Praveen sir and the organizers. Indulkar sir has been a wonderful human being, has touched our heart as a student, is touching hearts of the students as a teacher, and as a human, coming across and speaking to him is a real treat. Thank you, Indulkar sir, for extending the invitation to deliver this talk, and we all are eager to hear you. Over to you, Praveen sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Usha madam would like to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. On this occasion, we all pay homage to Swamiji and his teachings. And I think it's a lesson for all of us that when there were no facilities, he went all the way from India abroad and he spread the name of our country. So for all of us, today to remember him is not only just a remembrance, but also a lesson to be carried lifelong. So with this, I thank all of you for inviting me for this session.
Thank you, madam. To give a brief introduction regarding Professor Kamlakar Indulkar, as Himanshu sir has already told, Kamlakar Indulkar sir has been a student, alumni of our college from Department of Zoology, and later on he joined in the junior college. So presently he is a teacher in biology in junior college and has been a very hard-working person. I know him since very long, since his student days. Kamlakar sir has, what do you say, is very simple and he follows the principles of Swami Vivekananda. And to tell a few more is that he has his own educational institute. I would say institute in the sense it is a very different, where what called as home learning, Shikshanaya, and he is a director of that. And to say he has put his own children in that, his children are not going to school but are doing home learning. So, and he follows the principles as given by Swami Vivekananda ji. He has been on a number of tours. Recently, he has done a Narmada trek on foot. And Kamlakar Indulkar has also a Vivekananda study circle in our college, wherein he try to teach the teachings of Swami Vivekananda ji to the students, and basically to imbibe the ethics and morals, which is very much requirement in the present day. So without wasting much time, and Acha, before I conclude, I'd like to thank Usha Mukundan madam and Himanshu sir for giving this opportunity to hold this particular event on today. And I would also like to thank Professor Kamlakar Indulkar for accepting our invitation at the last moment. And at 5 o'clock, he has another webinar, and he's a speaker at that webinar too, which is held at Gokte College, Ratnagiri. So without wasting much time, I request now Professor Kamlakar Indulkar to please give his talk. Kamlakar Indulkar, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Uh, Thank you, Usha Madam, Himanshu sir, and all the audience for giving this opportunity. We are in the 21st year, 21वें साल, 21वें के सदी के 21वें साल में 21st year of 21st century we are in. और इस दशक के पहले युवा दिन में आप सबका मैं अभिनंदन करता हूँ. And I'm really thankful to the organizer for providing this opportunity of attending the session. We are going to discuss today about Swamiji's role, Swamiji's vision for India, and role of youth. All of here, those who are attending session, I'm sure we all are youth because youth is related with mindset. एक शायर ने युवाओं का वर्णन करते हुए कहा है, जो चट्टानों से टकराता है उसे तूफान कहते हैं, जो चट्टानों से टकराता है उसे तूफान कहते हैं, और जो तूफानों से टकराता है उसे युवान कहते हैं. तो ऐसे सभी युवा आज के इस मीटिंग में है, और हम युवा दिन सेलिब्रेट करते हुए स्वामी जी का जन्म दिवस युवा दिन करके यूथ डे पूरे देश भर में सेलिब्रेट होता है, क्योंकि स्वामी जी का लाइफ स्पैन 39 इयर्स का था. In his life of 39 years, he has influenced the world, guided the world, directed the nation in a certain direction. Today we are going to try to understand what was his vision of India and how we can contribute for it. So on his last period, during his last phase, just before death, while discussing his fellow being, Brother Monk, he said that India is immortal if she persists in her search for God. But if she goes in for politics or social conflicts, she will definitely die. Now, different individuals, different leaders has different vision for India. Like all of you know that our Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi ji has vision of self-reliance and village development. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel has given importance to unity and strength of the nation. Whereas visionary Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, first Prime Minister, had vision of industrialization and global unity. Our today's Prime Minister Modi ji has vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. All these visions become complementary in Swami Vivekananda's vision of India, which consists of all visions of different leaders at different times. But now the condition or the position of India is like Alice in Wonderland. All of you must be knowing this story. On the way, when Alice lost her way, and she does not know what to do, and she was asking everyone where to go. When she asked this question to a cat, which is my way? Then the response given by the cat was, it depends on where you want to go. But unfortunately, poor Alice was not knowing her address of her own house. If we will see our condition today as a nation, while moving on the path of globalization, privatization, and liberalization, there is a lot of confusion. But at this phase, only Swamiji's vision can rescue us. In fact, hundreds of years ago, in 1 century back, when American asked Swamiji, that the philosophy of your country is grand, ethics of your nation are grand, but your country has so much poverty, illiteracy, and there are n number of problems which as a nation India is facing. And you can see the materialistic growth of our country. If we'll exchange this, what will happen? If we'll exchange our economy with your philosophy, Swami Vivekananda said, what is the guarantee that you will survive for 500 years? So what was his vision? We have seen past, communism did not survive even 100 years. Capitalism also have same fate almost. So what we need to do is, we need to Indianize our India by understanding vision of Swamiji. What do you mean by Indianizing India? All of we need to understand that every existing thing, every existence on this planet, in this universe has some purpose, whether it is living or non-living. Now the non-living device, mobile, laptop, which we are using has some purpose. And life, human being, birds, any living creature has some purpose to fulfill. Similarly, each nation has a message to deliver, a mission. A song is fixed for every nation. Every nation has its mission. For example, in ancient Rome, it was military power. For ancient Greek, it was intellectual quest. All of you know Socrates and all. And for British, it was commercial empire building, ruling the world. Okay, commercializing, commercially expanding into the world. So building commercial empire throughout the world was mission for Britishers. Then what is for India? What is mission of India in this world? There are more than around 197 countries throughout the world. Every nation, every country has its own mission. What is mission of India? Let us try to understand. Swamiji says that the mission of India is her religion, her spirituality. No other part of earth has such continuous eternal flow of a ancient yet ever refreshing, what we call Sanatan, spiritual and cultural stream. So what we can see in our motherland. Here I remember one story. There was a philosopher who was famous throughout the world. And in one of the developed nations, there was a nude club. Once they decide, all of you know the concept of nude club, where the people, whatever function is there of that club, people are nude. So once they decide that, they will organize one grand function and they will call that great philosopher as a chief guest. So they invite the philosopher, and that philosopher also accept their invitation. But after inviting the philosopher, when all preparations were over of the function, the organizer thought such a great philosopher is going to come for our function. Why not we should make exception for one day of our rule? What was the rule? That for any function, the participant should be nude. So only for one day as an exception, we should wear clothes for that function, as such a great world famous philosopher is going to grace the occasion. There that philosopher thought that I am going function in such an organization where all people will be nude in the function. So if I will go with dress, I will be odd man out. So he went to attend that function without wearing clothes, where all other members of that nude club were with clothes. My dear friends, our condition is same. World is learning from us how to live life, how should be the lifestyle. And specifically in corona pandemic, you might have seen or you might have read in news that throughout the world, their leaders, people throughout the world have appreciated all the practices, ancient practices which were practiced in India. So basically, the religion and spirituality, cultural stream is something which we can give to the world. There are many things which we can learn from the world, but from us, what we can give to the world is spirituality. Now, you must have heard सारे जहां से अच्छा, कवि इकबाल जी का एक गीत है सारे जहां से अच्छा. उसमें वो कहते हैं कि कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी. दुनिया से बहुत सारे देश मिट गए, लेकिन कुछ ऐसी खासियत है कि कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी. इतने सालों से, इतने हजारों सालों से, एज अ कंट्री, एज अ नेशन, आफ्टर facing n number of problems in critical situations also, we are moving ahead. So what is that? क्या ऐसी खास बात है? So Swami ji says that it is nothing but till we don't forget that we are children of sages, however critical or the worst situation we live in. Okay, people might be poor or maybe surrounded with a number of problems, but if they remember that they are children of sages. Now here sages means the one who is simple. So sages, rishis, we are children of rishis. We have great past. If we remember that, if we remember our ancestors, how great they were, then definitely the India is not going to die. No one can kill this nation. There was one sage, भारत की एक जंगल में, एक गांव के पास एक जंगल था, वहां कुटिया में एक साधु रहता था और वो उसकी सिद्धियों के लिए जाना जाता था, उसके नॉलेज के लिए जाना जाता था. तो दूर दूर से लोग उन्हें मिलने के लिए आते थे, उन साधु महाराज. तो एक दिन ऐसे ही एक फॉरेन विजिटर उन्हें मिलने के लिए आया और उनकी कुटी को देखा तो कुटिया में कुछ नहीं है, कुछ भी सामान नहीं है. साधु जी ध्यान कर रहे. उनकी ध्यान अवस्था खत्म होने के बाद उस विजिटर ने पूछा, आई एम सरप्राइज टू सी दैट यू हैव नो लगेज इन योर होम. तो साधु जी ने कहा, मेरी बात छोड़िए, व्हाट अबाउट यू, वेयर इज योर लगेज? सो that guest, that visitor replied, I am just guest here. Saying, immediately the sadhu replied, so am I. With this attitude, sages are living with this attitude. And therefore the Sikandar, who was the great Sikandar, who had conquered the world, and when he came to India, the sage says that you cannot win me because I am immortal. So if we remember that we are children of sages, definitely we are going to survive. So this was Swami Vivekananda's vision for India. This is the theme of Indian life work, of our eternal song, the backbone of our existence of India, foundation of our being. That is nothing but the spiritualization of human race, which you will find in India. This is spirituality is core of India. Swamiji says that every soul is potentially divine. Every living organism, every soul is potentially divine. So, my dear friends, spirituality is the first dimension of vision of India. Yogi Aurobindo you must be knowing, who was freedom fighter also, and a great sage who has directed the nation. He said that once one man's perfection can save the world. And India has to play a great role by spreading Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is nothing but spirituality. The religion. What is religion? Religion is to spirituality what container is to the contain. किसी भी कंटेनर के लिए कंटेन का जो मतलब है वही religion is to that religion is to spirituality. That means we cannot separate them. Spirituality is part of religion. In our whatever religious activity we perform in our day-to-day life, whatever rituals we perform, every ritual, whatever we perform is based on science. Rather, spirituality is utmost science. Whatever different subjects of science we study, spirituality is utmost science. Now, the second dimension is ancient past. All of you must have heard about Sir Henry Ford, the owner of Ford Company. At his time, he was the richest man of the world. Once he went in one five-star hotel of some other country with his family. And in the morning, his son had breakfast in the hotel. His bill was around £5 something, and he gave £50 as tip to the waiter. So the waiter was astonished. He asked his manager, "Who is this man?" Manager said, "You don't know who is he? He is son of Sir Henry Ford, the richest person of the world. And he is also going to visit this place. He is also going to come very soon here." So that waiter requested to his manager to appoint his duty there to the table of Sir Henry Ford. After some time, when Henry Ford came to that place, he had his breakfast. His bill was also approximately £5, and he gave a few pennies as a tip. So again, the waiter was surprised, and he asked Sir Henry Ford, "Excuse me, sir, I would like to ask you one question. A few minutes back, your son was here, and he had the same bill of £5 of his breakfast, but he has given £50 as a tip." So the Henry Ford replied very nicely. He said, "The one who had given you £50 tip, his father was rich. My father was not rich." So we are poor children of rich heritage. If you see our heritage, our ancient past, it is so rich that it is said by different philosophers throughout the world that India is motherland of all different fields which are existing at present for the welfare of mankind. This is an ancient land where wisdom made its home before it went into any other country. Here is the same India whose soil has been trodden by the feet of greatest sages. So if we will see our past, it is very rich. And so with this heritage, we have to move ahead. We have to look forward, march forward, and make India brighter, greater, and much higher. These are, the great people of the world as their opinion about India. Voltaire says that India is independent by itself. The world might be dependent on it, but India is always independent. Roman Ronald says that if there is one place on the earth where all the dreams of living man have found a home from the very earliest days when man began the dream of existence, it is India. So even Einstein and all other great philosophers, great people of the world, if you'll see their opinion about India, you'll find that they always has homage for India. We know that India shows ancient port city like Lothal, Iron Pillar. Now we know that 21st June, which worldwide it is celebrated as Yoga Day, Science of Yoga. World has accepted this. Maximum countries of UN has accepted uh, that International Yoga Day, 21st June, because they know what is power of it, and it is this everything is originated from India. The in the field of medicine, the ancient surgeon, first surgeon, Sushruta, and there are a number of medicines which were originated here. Similarly, earliest well-planned city town, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, astronomy in the world of astronomy, the major contribution of Aryabhatta, first university of the world. Then arts, like Ajanta caves painting. So a number of things, if you see our ancient heritage, it was really great. So rich heritage and culture of country. What is culture? Way of thinking, way of worship, and way of life is culture. So in our pledge, we say that we are proud of our rich heritage and culture. All of you know that music of India. Now, whether it is music, whether it is dance, whether it is painting, everything is initiated with spirituality. Everything has its integrated relation with spirituality. So here Yehudi says that the music of India, melodically and rhythmically, long ago it has achieved a complex sophistication which only in the 20th century the European or the Western musician has trying to reach towards that. Now the basic difference between Western and Eastern music, Indian music, you can understand. When we listen Indian music, we move our head, and when we listen Western music, we move our legs. That is the basic difference in the music. Because here all forms of art. Here you can see this particle physicist Capra, what he says. How does movement of atom takes place? And that is explained by in ancient Vedas. Okay. So the metaphor of the cosmic dance thus unifies ancient mythology, religious art, and modern physics. This is what Capra says. Okay. Shiva's dance. Okay. It is like the dance of subatomic matter. So connecting modern physics with the mythology. The scientists also are accepting this. In Western countries, if you see, art was individualistic. In Western, artist is an individual, but in India, a picture, a song, a sculpture has its own roots in the imagination and belief of whole community. So if you see sculpture in the temple, it is just for passing, traditions from one generation to next, giving information from one generation to next. Sculpture in any temple of the India. So here the art, whatever is existing in our country, is basically for the welfare of community. Will Durant, what he is saying, try to understand. He says that India was the motherland of our race, and Sanskrit the mother of Europe's language. She was the mother of our philosophy, mother uh, through the Arabs of much of our mathematics, mother through the Buddha of the ideas embodied in Christianity, mother through the village community of self-government and democracy. So Mother India has given n number of concepts which are to the world, which are originated here. Now, there are different ways of expressing ourselves. Every nation has its own way. It is already becoming clear that a chapter which had a Western beginning will have to have an Indian ending, if it is not to end in the self-destruction of the human race. This is what Arnold Toynbee is saying. He's saying that basic values of India. See, the world today, what we are saying in the era of globalization, liberalization, the world is market and everyone is a customer. See, we all are customer and we are victims of advertisements. But Indian culture says, our tradition says, our goal is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Whole world is one family. Whole world is one family. So this is basically our concept. And with this concept, considering this, that whole world is one family, if we'll consider this, then only we can move ahead. Otherwise, the things are going to end in with destructions. Now, next dimension is social fabric. जैसे मैंने अभी कवि इकबाल का ये कहा कि कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, तो ये स्टडी करने के लिए यूएस से एक कमीशन, एक कमेटी यहाँ पे आई थी इंडिया में, टू सी हाउ इंडिया इज एग्जिस्टिंग एज ए नेशन फॉर सो मेनी years, thousands of years. There are many countries in the world who vanish from the world. How does India as a society exist? What is the reason? So they came here to study, they did research here, and they concluded. The report which they have submitted back, in that report they have concluded that India as a society is very strong since ages because family system which exists here. It is unique and it is very strong. So the family is a unit of society, and all of you know that how strong family system we have here. Till date, fortunately till date, we are now slowly and gradually, as we are trying to copying Western. So there are attacks on family systems also, but social fabric as a family, as a village, so it was very strong. The social fabric of India is very strong. The division of labor, what we can see as honeycomb. There is a division of labor and there is no dispute. Similarly, it was here. It was not by birth at all. So there was a great system. So socially also there was a great system which was existing, but in the course of time it got deteriorated because we have not understood the basic principles of it. Okay. जब हम समुंदर में जाते हैं, तो when we go for bath, समुंदर में नहाने के लिए जाते हैं, तो we know what we do. एक ऐसे ही पिलग्रिमेज के लिए आया था, एक तीर्थयात्री था और समुंदर स्नान के लिए वो आया था. तो उसने जैसे अपने कपड़े निकाले तो एक बैग में एक जगह रखने थे, तो अभी ऐसे ही रखेंगे तो कोई नहीं, अकेला ही था. तो उसने क्या किया, he dig a pit there on the bank of the sea, on the seashore, and he covered it with the sand. अभी वो आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करना है, तो he accumulated some sand and made a small hill and then he went there. तो उसको जाते समय किस दूसरे जो टूरिस्ट था उसने देखा कि उसने सोचा कि यार यहाँ तो ऐसा ट्रेडिशन है, लगता है कि स्नान करने के लिए जाएंगे तो शिवलिंग बनाना पड़ता है और उसको नमस्कार करके ही आगे जाना है स्नान के लिए. तो उसने वैसे ही वो सैंड से वैसे ही छोटा हिल और शिवलिंग जैसे बनाया और नमस्कार करके आगे चला गया. उसके पीछे वाले टूरिस्ट ने देखा, वैसे ही किया. By the time the first man came back, he found that everywhere there were small hills or you can say शिवलिंग. तो सोसाइटी का ऐसे ही होता है. We just copy paste. We don't understand the principles or philosophy behind it. and it creates problem. Unfortunately, हमारे साथ भी ऐसे ही हुआ. So these are what are the causes of our downfall? First is isolation from the world community. We have isolated from ourselves in the middle phase. Okay, that we should not travel as through sea and all. Okay, so isolation from the community. Swamiji says expansion is life and contraction is death. So we have, you know, हमने अपने आप को बंधन में रखा कि हमें इससे बाहर करना नहीं है, ये एक छोटा सा कम्युनिटी है और मतलब दूसरों से कुछ सीखना नहीं है. And we became like, you know, the frog in the whale. ये जो फ्रॉग इन द वेल, ये स्टोरी स्वामी जी ने जो वर्ल्ड रिलीजियस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बताई थी. एक छोटी सी स्टोरी है. जो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड रिलीजियस कॉन्फ्रेंस शिकागो में जहाँ स्वामी जी गए थे, उन्होंने कहा ये अपने स्पीच में ये स्टोरी सुनाई कि एक कुएं में एक मेंढक था. उस मेंढक की मतलब वो कुएं में रहता था, उसके दोस्त थे वहां पे. बाहर से एक मेंढक वहां पे एक बार आया, तो जो ये विजिटर मेंढक आया, गेस्ट मेंढक आया, तो कुएं के मेंढक ने उसको पूछा कि आप कहाँ से आए हो? तो उसने कहा मैं तो समुंदर से आया हूँ, आई एम फ्रॉम सी. तो कितना बड़ा है आपका समुंदर? तो ये समुंदर के मेंढक ने कहा कि वो तो बहुत बड़ा है. तो ये कुएं के मेंढक ने अपनी जगह से थोड़ा दूर छलांग लगाई और बोला इतना बड़ा है कि आपका समुंदर? बोला नहीं, इससे बहुत बड़ा है. उसने और दूर छलांग लगाई, बोला इतना बड़ा है क्या? तो बोले नहीं. वो समुंदर का मेंढक बोला नहीं भाई, इससे बहुत बड़ा है. तो he jumped from that frog from whale, he jumped from one wall to the other wall of the whale, and then he asked, is your sea this big? आपका समुंदर इतना बड़ा है? तो ये समुंदर के मेंढक ने कहा नहीं डियर फ्रेंड, इट इज बियॉन्ड योर इमेजिनेशन. ये तो वो तो बहुत बड़ा है. तो ये कुएं के मेंढक ने अपने दोस्तों से कहा कि इसको मारो, ये झूठ बोल रहा है, इससे बड़ा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. स्वामी जी ने ये स्टोरी का कथा बताई और उसके बाद बोला कि हम लोग अपने रिलीजन के कुएं में ऐसे ही अटके हुए हैं और कह रहे हैं कि मेरा रिलीजन सबसे बड़ा है. When we'll come out of it and when we'll see sea of humanity, then we'll realize how big it is. तो ऐसे ही हम लोग अपने ही मेंढक की तरह हम अपने ही बाउंड्रीज में सीमित रह गए, isn't it, as a society, and it has hampered and it has become our cause for our downfall. One more cause is lack of faith. The old religion says, जो पुराना धर्म ये कहता है कि जिसका भगवान के ऊपर विश्वास नहीं है वो नास्तिक है. स्वामी जी कहते हैं नया धर्म ये कहता है कि जिसका खुद के ऊपर विश्वास नहीं है वो नास्तिक है. He says that Westerners having faith in their muscle, they have achieved so much. So if we'll keep faith in our spirit, we can achieve a lot. So keeping faith in self is very much essential. Keeping faith in self. There are few more causes of our downfall. Neglect of masses, neglect of women. You know the condition of women in our country. Lack of proper education. Career-oriented education, not character-making education. Lack of organization. Swamiji has compared Eastern and Western. He has directed whole world. In Eastern, to Eastern people, they have said that you have to learn materialism from the Western people, and to Western people they have said that you have to learn spirituality from Eastern countries, isn't it? In Western, he has said that he has seen that their organization is very good, which we are lacking here, and that is one very important cause of our downfall. So few of his words we need to remember, my dear friends. He said that serving people is very important. नारायण भाव से नर की सेवा. एक स्वामी जी की और एक स्टोरी मैं आपको बताता हूँ. जब वो फॉरेन से आए, उनके पास मतलब he was world famous figure and he he was traveling throughout the country, inspiring people, inspiring the youth throughout the nation. At that time suddenly there was pandemic of plague in Calcutta. So with his disciple, he went there to serve the people. And throughout day and night, he was busy in serving people there. He was very much busy serving people there. In the morning, cleaning them, then giving them medicine, providing them proper food. He was very much busy over there. One of his disciples got irritated. And one day he asked स्वामी जी आप ये हमें कहाँ पे लेके आए हो? हम तो सन्यासी है, ये हमारा काम नहीं है, सेवा हमारा काम नहीं है. हमारी दिनचर्या कितनी अच्छी थी, हम सुबह जल्दी उठते थे, भगवान का जप करते थे, पूजा का पाठ करते थे, आपका प्रवचन सुनते थे, भजन करते थे, कितनी अच्छी थी हमारी दिनचर्या, हमें आप कहाँ पे लाए हो? मुझे तो योगी बनना है. स्वामी जी ने एक ही वाक्य उसे कहा. स्वामी जी ने अपने शिष्य से कहा, बेटा योगी तो तू बनेगा ही, योगी तो तू बनेगा ही, पहले उपयोगी तो बन. How we can contribute, that is very important. How I can contribute for my own life, for my family, for my society, it matters a lot. So how we serve people, that is very important. He says that, having, you should go mad. Working with passion is important. Now we work as a fashion. कोई अभी ठीक है, कोरोना पैंडेमिक है तो लोग वो हेल्प करने के लिए चले जाते हैं, फोटो खींचते हैं, सोशल मीडिया पे डालते हैं कि हमने ये किया वो किया. So we work for fashion. But if we really want to make a difference, we really want to contribute for the world, then we need to work with passion. And for that we have to be mad. So, have you gone mad? That is very important. You have to ask yourself. Now, these three things are very important. 3H, what Gandhiji has said, and Swamiji also has said the same thing. भावनाओं से भरा हुआ हृदय, heart with feelings, feeling for everyone, every creation of the God. Brain to conceive. Second H, head, brain to conceive. And third H, hand to work. With proper collaboration of all these three, we can work for betterment of the nation, for the betterment of the world. And my dear friends, if you see history of the world, if you study history of the world, not only of India, you will find that history of the world is history of youth. Only youth can make difference. Whatever constructive or whatever destructive is happening in the world, youth is responsible for it. So with positive thought, if you will move ahead, and if you read Vivekananda, any thought, any word of him, it is full of positivity, full of positivity. So if you'll read him, if you'll understand his thought, and if you'll bring it into action, see, only reading is not enough. Only just having positive thoughts are not enough. You need to work. So positive thoughts and positive action will give positive results. People, those who have negative thoughts and negative action, obviously they get positive result. Negative, positive, you know that maths. But if you have positive thoughts and negative action, if you think, okay, दुनिया को अच्छा बनना चाहिए, जो हमारी प्रार्थना है कि सर्वत्र सुखिना, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिना, सबको सुखी होना चाहिए, ये जो हमारी प्रेयर है, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखम् आप्नुयात्, ये जो हमारी प्रेयर है कि एवरीवन शुड बी हैप्पी, एवरीवन शुड बी हेल्दी. लेकिन ऐसा खाली सोच के नहीं होगा. वी नीड टू एक्ट. If you have thought positive but action negative, then obviously we will get negative result. If we have thought negative and action positive, कुछ famous बनने के लिए मैं कुछ काम कर रहा हूँ, तो definitely the result, end result will be negative, because positive negative is definitely negative as per maths rule goes, and it is applicable in our life. So this 3H, having these three H, heart with feeling, feeling for everyone, living, non-living, all our fellow beings. So in our nation, in our country, people, our sages, our rishi has prayed for the world. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sabko sukhi hone do. Not only me. So, heart with feelings, brain to conceive new ideas, and hand to work. If we have all these three things, definitely we are going to do much more for our country, for our nation. And these three things are essential. Conviction in the powers of goodness, that goodness will work. Absence of jealousy. Swamiji says, उसकी कमीज मेरे कमीज से सफेद क्यों? ये जो question, absence of jealousy is essential if you want to contribute. And helping all who are trying to be and to do good. So as a youth, we need to do this. Swamiji says that give me hundreds of Nachiketa and I shall change the world. What does Nachiketa means? Nachiketa means those youth, those who are willingness, those who are having willingness to win. That youth is essential. And definitely we can make a difference. This is Swamiji's message, be and make. If you want to make change, then definitely first we have to practice that. So this is message of his life, be and make. On his birthday, on this youth day, I'm really thankful for to the organizer and for all of you for attending this session and giving me this opportunity to give this message, to pass on this message of Swamiji to all of you. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. If anyone want to ask anything, you can ask. If anyone has any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we can stop. Hello, Praveen, sir. Yes, dear students, if you have any doubt, please, you can raise your doubt. Hello, Praveen, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got
sir.
logged off. Yeah.
Sir, the session is over.
Yes, any students, if they want to ask questions, they can ask.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Kamlakar sir will be very much interested in to answer it. As I told you, he has a Vivekananda study circle in our college and he is used to train students. Mind you, when you consider Vivekananda ji, so even though he is called as a Swami ji, it's nothing to do with religion, but it's rather dealing with spirituality. But when I talk about spirituality, for that matter, it's nothing to do with, again, with God. It's a power within you. So it leads to what is called as morality. It leads to what is called as ethics, right? Our character. All this is a component of what forms the spirituality. So if any student has to ask anything, you can very well ask. Yes, any students? If किसी को पूछना है, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Kamlakar sir has been very kind enough to accept our invitation. And he has to, after this particular session, he has to immediately join another session where he is a speaker, as I told you earlier. Anyone? So as I told you, Swami Vivekananda ji has been a leader who has influenced people not only in India but across the world, and hence he is also considered to be a youth leader. You might be aware that Swamiji was born in the year 1863 and he took his Mahasamadhi in the year 1902 at a very young age, rather I would say of 39 years. But in this short span of time of 39 years, He has done wonders, you can say, where the entire world appreciates him. And not only, it's not about, as I told in the beginning, it's not about religion or spirituality, but it's rather about human values, morality. And Swamiji has tremendous faith. To give a few quotes about Swamiji, which you can get it from internet also, right? Is never be weak. You must be strong. You have infinite strength within you. That is the belief of Swamiji in the youth. He also says, take risk in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Another importance of the youth when he has his faith is talk to yourself once in a day. Otherwise, you may miss meeting an excellent person in this world, and which is nothing but yourself. So that is a faith Swamiji has in the youth, and youth has tremendous power who can change, bring change across. So if students doesn't have any doubts or they have no questions, so on behalf of the Hindi Vidya Prachar Samiti, Ram Niranjan Jhunjhunwala College, Dr. Principal Himanshu Davda, Dr. Usha Mukundan, Director HVPS, associations of such as NCC and NSS, along with Vivekananda Study Circle of Ram Niranjan Jhunjhunwala College, I extend my gratitude and thanks to Professor Kamlakar Indulkar for having accepted our invitation and giving a very nice talk, which probably students will imbibe, will think over, and maybe if not today, at a later date, will understand the meaning of what has been taught and will bring about a change in their life. I also thank my co-colleagues, Dr. Mangesh Panchal and Dr. Geeta Joshi, the program officers of NSS, my NCC cadets, my NCC students, volunteers, all the students and teacher colleagues. Few teacher colleagues are also attending this particular webinar, as I can see. Also, I thank all of them for attending this webinar and listening to Professor Kamlakar Indulkar. This is a small step in celebrating the National Youth Day and also the, you can say, birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. I also thank Mr. Devi Prasad Shetty for providing all the technical support, including putting this particular webinar or talk on the YouTube. So students, you can also access this particular link later on our RJ College Open Course website, and you can think over and ponder and bring about a change in your life. So with these few words, I thank everyone. Thank you all. Jai Hind. Kamlakar sir.
Jai Hind sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Jai Hind sir.
Yeah, Jai Hind.
Sir, I'll leave the meeting now, sir.
Yeah. Please, sir. Thank you,
okay.
sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. DP sir, Devi Prasad Shetty sir.
Yes, sir.